Out of all the millions, billions, trillions of mac and cheese recipes that are out there, I think the only one you need is mine. It is absolutely scrumptious. So pick out your noodle. I'm going with this one, how delightful that is. And meet me in my kitchen. I'm going to show you how to make the creamiest, cheesiest, easiest mac and cheese you can find. All right, mac and cheese. Now, I'm coming at you from Wisconsin. I know my cheeses. I'm going to show you how to make the richest, creamiest, delicious mac and cheese. So I got a couple things rolling right now. First, I just cooked my pasta. I drained it. It's sitting over there. Show it to you later. Right now, in my shallow pan here, I am melting a half a cup of butter. We have to get a roux going, which is equal parts flour and fat. So I've got a half a cup of unsalted butter, of course, because unsalted 100% of the time, all the time, no matter what. You know that. We've talked about it. Now I'm going to sprinkle in, once it's melted, a half a cup of flour. Now we're going to whisk this up and let that flour cook out a little bit. Got this nice big shallow Dutch oven here. Works really good for these things. And we're going to go ahead. We don't want to add our liquid in right now. You're going to end up with that pasty sauce that's not delicious. So right now we just got to let this cook. Right now it's a really, really light color. I want this to darken just a teeny tiny bit to like the color of sand. While it's doing that, let me show you what I got going on over here. My cheeses. The cheeses. They're so good. Now there's 1,000 different ways you can do this. There's 1,000 million different recipes out there. But to me, this is the trifecta. This is what you want. I have a cup of Fontina. I have a cup of white cheddar. And I have a cup of Gruyere. Those are your three. They melt beautifully. They are just that kind of cheese that has that richness to it. It's super flavorful. Yes, Gruyere, a little pricey. I hear you. It's not something you use every day. And for me, you go big or go home. And you only need a cup, so just get a small block. Now, a little trick for you. Sometimes like Fontina can be really difficult to shred. While you shred your other two cheeses, put the Fontina in the freezer. It'll shred way faster. So that's just a little trick. Now, also what you need to know about these cheeses, I shred them by hand or in your food processor. Please don't buy bags of pre-shredded cheese. Not for this. You want a melty, smooth cheese that's super creamy, and the bag cheeses don't deliver that to you. All right, so now I got my flour in here. See, it's just slightly darker here, just a smidge. That's what I'm looking for. That flour is not pasty anymore. It's cooked down. I have in here 2 cups of whole milk and 2 cups of half and half. We're going rich. Don't, in the comments, ask if you can use skim or almond milk. We're going for like a true Wisconsin dairy bomb.
People use almond milk?
You know, I see some weird stuff online and yes. All right, so now I'm going to carefully I don't want to shock this pan. I want to gently warm this up. So I'm going to add, about a cup. Is that good? Yeah, ish. A cup-ish. I'm going to go ahead and whisk. And then once all of that is nice and warm and getting thick, we're going to bring in some more. See how quick that gets thick like that? Let's add a little more. But we're gently warming the liquid up. And that way, if you were to pour all of it in there, it would take forever for it to come to temperature and you might get it lumpy. We don't want lumpy. We want nice and smooth. A little more. So I'm just going to do this for just a few minutes. This is an easy recipe to throw together. So take your time with these parts. This is important. This is crucial. Nice and warm. Warm it all up together. All right, so now all the liquid's in there. We want to get this nice and hot and just keep gently whisking to bring it all together. And I'm going to add a little seasoning right now while this is coming to temp here. It's weird. Some people do it, some people don't. I see people do ground mustard, Dijon whole grain, blah. I just take a little Dijon mustard and I just do a little squirt. Now listen, I'm not looking for a mustard flavored, come on now, mac and cheese. This just adds just a little extra flavor. Nothing crazy. You might not even know it's in there, but to me, it helps. And then I'm also gonna add a good dash of salt and pepper. And then we'll season it up again right before we put it in the oven. My oven is preheated to 375 degrees. My liquid is starting to bubble, but I'm still not. I want to make sure it's really, 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 really stinking smooth. So don't rush this process. Make sure everything is hot. Look and see how smooth that is. All right, now I'm feeling good about it. Let that get nice and hot. Now, got my cheeses ready to go. I'm gonna let that get a little bubbly for a sec. I'm gonna show you where to go now. I got a nice big non-stick pan here. Because if you're gonna make a super rich, indulgent mac and cheese, you might as well add bacon to it and a little bit of breadcrumbs. So I've got some thick cut bacon here that I chopped up, did that before you got on the camera, before I got on the camera. So that way you didn't have to watch me just chop bacon. It's boring. Got some thick cut bacon. Starting it in a cold pan. You can do it hot or cold, whatever you want to do, but this isn't one of those dishes that your pan has to be super hot. This can come up to temperature and render that fat. So while we're finishing up our cheese sauce, we'll get this started. All right, start getting hot. All right, so now, Steven, you see that? Nice and bubbly. Now we're talking. Now that's gonna melt some cheese. So I'm gonna turn the heat all the way down to low. And now let's get our cheeses in there. We got the Gruyere. You might notice all of these cheeses are white. I do love a creamy white mac and cheese, but if you are a cheddar lover, go ahead and do like a sharp cheddar instead of the white cheddar. Keep the Gruyere, keep the Fontina. They're melty and nutty and delicious, but you can trade out for, you know, a nice sharp orange cheddar if you prefer that aesthetic. All right, and now I'm just gonna kinda start gently melting it together. Look how easy that is. Have you ever made macaroni and cheese from scratch, Steven?
I did for Thanksgiving.
You did?
I did.
How'd it go? What cheeses did you use?
I used a little feta.
Okay.
And a bunch of other like melty white cheeses.
Okay. How'd it turn out?
It was interesting.
Feta's an interesting choice. It adds a nice saltiness, but it might have been, was it a little gritty or no?
Yeah.
Just a smidge. Not that, but it adds a beautiful, like salty flavor.
Yeah, shout out to my family for
eating it,
yeah.
choking it down. Oh, this is what I'm talking about here. Look at this. That is a mac and cheese sauce, honey. Look at that. Now we got to season this bad boy up. We got to taste, taste, taste. MITG, make it taste good. Make sure we love it. I got forks. Let me grab a spoon. Don't scan over here. I didn't clean on that side. All right, let's see what we think about this. I mean, okay. I'm gonna do a little more pepper. You know, I'm gonna do some fresh ground pepper. And I'm gonna do a little more salt, and then I think I'm in a good spot. There we go. I like a little pep in there. Give my bacon starting to come up and get all sizzly. It's gonna start smelling good in here. All right, one more whisk. Did I put more salt in there?
Yeah.
That pasta's gonna soak it up. Now, when I cooked my pasta, use whatever kind of pasta you like, by the way. You know, a good elbow macaroni or shells is traditional. For me, I love twirlies and I love all different kinds of shapes. You know how I'm obsessed with pasta. So you do you, but I did cook it about 2 minutes under what the package told me, because now we're gonna throw this in the oven and let it finish cooking in the sauce. So let me show you what I got here. Look at how cute these are. I wish my hair did this. Is that wrong? How cute would I be with that hair? No? Okay. Now I'm gonna get this in. Give this a good stir. Ooh. Now you can serve it just like this if you want to. Stovetop mac and cheese, nothing wrong with that. I just like to bake it and let the pasta finish cooking with the crispy topping. But if you're impatient and you just want to cook it like this, I am not mad at you for it. Look at that. Steven and I worked together today, and I watched him eat a gas station chicken sandwich for lunch today, so I have a feeling he's kind of excited about this video today, because I watched you choke that thing down, and I was like, aw, you'll be fed tonight. All right, the sauce is so thick, I have to like get in there. Oh, it's heavy. This is why I tell you to get heavy wooden spoons. Heavy wooden spoons, Dutch oven, nonstick pan, 3 of the 5 things you must have in your kitchen. Steven will put a link to that video right here. Ding. Beautiful. Now, once all this is together, I did heavily salt the pasta water as well, but I'm still gonna taste it and make sure it is not under seasoned. We did not go through this trouble for nothing. All right, let's see. How do we feel? Look at those little curlies. So cute. I'm that person. Smidge more salt, smidge more pepper. I will leave you alone. All right, so got a baking dish over to the side here. Stir. I give a little spray because I hate cleaning. And it makes life a little bit easier. Now, what are the odds? Ooh, you're getting that sexy Wisconsin accent right there.
Oh, just go up north in my hatchback, go catch some bass and salmon.
What are the odds I get this all in the thing by myself? I got this. Come on. Come on, honey. Get some. Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. I did it. I didn't think I was going to do that. All right, I'm skipping 3 noodles here. I'm going to get a little bit of the extra sauce here. Can I do it? Look at this. This is so good. Kind of spread this out, get all that cheese there. Look at that. This recipe will feed like 6 to 8 people, by the way. Do not think this is like for 4. All right, I'm gonna put this in the oven right now while we finish up our little breadcrumbs here. To start warming that up. Now, here I have on the side a plate with paper towel just to scoop out the bacon so we don't get all the fat on here, because I'm gonna make these breadcrumbs cook in the bacon fat, because why wouldn't we? I'm a firm believer that bacon fat actually lubricates arteries and makes blood flow faster, so that's what we're going with today. All right, now for your breadcrumbs, I had 4 leftover dinner rolls from Easter. So that's what I used. I put them in my food processor. They were like those Hawaiian rolls too, where they're like kind of sweet. It just sounded really good, so that's what we're doing. So right now we're waiting on this to get crispy. And then once I take these out of the pan, Stephen will come back at you so you don't have to sit here and just stare at me do nothing. All right, so I pulled my bacon out. It's nice and crispy. I have a lot of bacon fat left in the pan that I want to use for my breadcrumbs, but that's a lot. It's a lot of bacon fat. So here's what I do. I line a little cup or bowl with foil, and then I just pour out whatever I don't want. I'm gonna leave like 2 or 3 tablespoons, like that. Yeah, that's perfect. Just like to coat the bottom. And then you just put this to the side, and then it'll solidify, and you can just ball it up and throw it away. So much easier. Don't ever dump it down your drain or anything. All right, so now I've got a nice little coating of my bacon fat on the bottom. Let's get our breadcrumbs in here. Get those nice and crispy. If you need a little more bacon fat, hey man, we got some on the side. I think we're good here. I always add a little bit of salt. Just a smidge. Season, you know, we talk about that in the other videos. Season at all times. All the different layers. And now what's gonna happen is we're gonna get these nice and crispy. I'm gonna pour my bacon back in, mix it all up, top my casserole, my Midwest casserole.
Go fetch that for me once, hey.
We're gonna top my mac and cheese, and then we're gonna pull it out after about 20 minutes till it's like bubbling and golden and delicious. So the next time you see me, I'm gonna be pulling that out, and it's gonna look beautiful. So be right back. All right, time to pull this masterpiece out of the oven. Woo! It's creamy, it's crispy, it is, it's everything I want in a mac and cheese. Now, ideally, we'd let this sit for like 5 minutes to like chill, because it's all bubbly and super hot, but I have no time for that. So I'm going in, I'm giving a scoop to Stephen. Look at this. Oh, hello, lover. Look at how creamy that is. I can't handle a dry mac and cheese, y'all. I'm telling you right now, a dry mac and cheese makes me angry, but that is beautiful. And that crunch, that texture on top is just like my jam. Look how delicious that is. Try it. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna have Stephen try it, but before he tries it, you need to know to subscribe so you can find all my other videos and all my other recipes that are as delicious as this one. But Stephen, let's go. Here's your fork. Got it.
I'm so excited.
I know you're so excited. Talk louder than you think, because you're not wearing a microphone.
The sun's coming out.
I know.
It's meant to be.
Get some crunch on there, okay? Because we got that crunchy for a reason. Look at that crunch on there, y'all. Oh, yes, 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 yes. It's hot. While he's chewing that, it's gonna let you know. That's a good stink. Does it hold up to your Easter mac and cheese?
Oh, God.
With the feta and mozzarella.
Let's not even talk about that.
Okay.
Good.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
Well, good, because you're taking most of that home, and I will now feed you for the rest of the week. So there you go. Take it back over. Subscribe. Find me on Instagram. Find me on TikTok. Find me on all the things. And thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen, and I'll see you next time. Bacon.
Get that. All right.
All ready?
Yep.
Oh, and now I'm chewing. Lord. My phone's ringing. Let's go. All right, sorry, it's my husband. Hey, babe.